So what is this magical formula? There is none. We'll talk about that today on Bible Time. Hello again, everyone, and thank you for joining me for Bible Time. Today I want to reflect back on almost a year ago, in mid-October, when I sat down with this idea that God had given me to do a short segment called Bible Time. And here we are, episode 77, still going strong. But what I'm really thinking about today is how much I've grown since that very first episode of Bible Time. I've grown in my walk with God. I've grown to know Him better. I've grown spiritually. I've grown as a person, as a friend, as a husband, in so many ways. But why is that? Well, the truth is because I actively sought out God. I get asked all the time, Pastor Phil, how do I get closer to God? And I always reply with a couple of things. First of all, I say, you got to pray. Pray. And I don't know how to pray. Well, then let God teach you how to pray. I bought this book one time. It's called Prayer by Philip Yancey. I bought this book hoping that God would use it to teach me how to pray. But you know what? I didn't find the answers to prayer in this book. It's a very good book. But I didn't find out how to pray by reading a book. I found out how to pray by just simply doing it. Yes, I simply went to God and said, God, I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm doing. God, I need help. God, I need you. I said all those things. And God continually taught me how to pray. How? Did we sit down in a classroom and He write on a chalkboard and I took notes and then I had a test? No. I learned what worked, what didn't work. I started to trust my, if you want to call it gut feeling, we can call it that. I trusted my intuition with the Lord. I trusted His voice. I knew when it was His voice and when it was not His voice. I started to understand and discern. But you say, oh, well, I can't do that. That's exactly what I said. I bet most of you watching me right now or listening to me right now probably went to church more than I did as a child. Maybe not. Maybe you came to know the Lord in your adult years. But if you went to church as a child more times than you can count on your two hands, then you went more than me. I think I went 6 or 7 times maybe, and that's probably on the high end. I didn't go to church as a child. I didn't learn this from people teaching me in church. Everything that I know, that I have, I learned from God. Because in the year 2000, when I had just become a pastor in the summer of 1999, and finally in the year 2000, I said, God, I am out of my league. I don't know why I'm even up there. Now, those sermons leading up to that, they were not bad. God was leading me. They were very choppy at times. Heck, I even get choppy at times now. But what I'm saying is, God taught me because I did one thing. I went to Him one night and I said, God, I want to know you. I want to experience you. I want to know all about you. I don't know anything, but I need to know. And He led me, He guided me, He coerced me, He nudged me to read the Bible. What a daunting task. I took this Bible right here that I'm holding in my hands. If you're watching, if you're not watching, it's a Bible called The Journey, the Study Bible for Spiritual Seekers. I bought it at Walmart back in the year 2000, 21 years ago. And it's very well loved. It's got duct tape holding the binding together and packing tape holding the binding together and a little bit of masking tape, and it's very crumpled edges, and the cover's worn and torn. But you know what? This is what I started with. And God led me to read 1 Samuel. Why 1 Samuel? Why not Genesis? Because I just simply sat down and I said, God, what should I read? And I got this thought in my mind, 1 Samuel. I had no idea what it was about, but I read it. You can do that too. If you don't want to trust that, then do this. Read the book of John. It's toward past the middle, but not quite all the way at the end, but it's towards the end. In my Bible, it's probably in the 1300s. So you see, it's pretty far back. Read the book of John. It's in the New Testament. It's the Gospel of John. It's the story of Jesus Christ. It starts out by saying, in the beginning, the Word became flesh and made His dwelling among us. He's telling us that Jesus came to be with us. Truly, this Bible time could turn into a 45-minute to an hour program about the greatness of God and how I have come to know him and how you can come to know him too. But instead, I'm just going to tell you, that's the first part. Pray and read the Bible. You don't have to understand what you read. I read 1 Samuel back in 2000. I read it again in 2004 and I went, that is not the same book I read. But it was, because God had helped me grow in that time. You might say, well, I don't have 21 years left. Okay, God can do it in 5 years. He can do it in 2 years. He can do it overnight. It's rare. I've never hardly ever seen that. But he can if he wants to. You can do it. God can do it. God can do anything. He can do anything if you just let him. If you truly desire to know him and truly seek him out. He has told us in the book of Jeremiah, you will find me when you seek me with your whole heart. But you can't just say, God is this box I'm putting on a shelf, and today I'm taking down the entertainment box. Tomorrow I'm taking down the God box, and then the next day I'm taking down the myself box. It doesn't work that way. Be dedicated to the Lord, and he will direct and guide you every step of the way. I promise, it's a guarantee. That's your Bible time for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you again all real soon, and God bless.